Hi, I'm Murray from Northridge Customer Service. I'm here to talk to you about a Venmar brand of HRV wall control. This particular brand is a Venmar brand of HRV. HRV is a heat recovery ventilator. This is the wall control for this brand of HRV. The HRVs are designed to bring in fresh air and exhaust stale air. This one you can control with an intermittent button at the top corner. That with that light lit, it's going to run 20 minutes every hour. So that is your basic setting for the winter time. There is also a humidity control level control here. Now I'm going to hit it once. It's going to be right at the bottom. That is a 30% cutoff point. Above the 30%, it's going to run steady and bring the humidity down below 30%. And then go back into the intermittent 20 minutes on, 40 minutes off. Wintertime, you want to be right around the 30% humidity level. That's good for everything, good for the house, good for the occupants, the whole thing. 40% will be way too high. You're going to start getting frozen door locks, that kind of thing, and it's not good for the house in the wintertime. Now, there is another setting on here. It's called the continuous button. Now, you hit that button once. We'll go hit it once. That means it's running constantly on low speed, 24/7. Doesn't care what the humidity, temperature, all that stuff is. It's gonna run steady all the time. First thing in the fall, when the humidity inside the house is built up and the temperature outside has dropped quickly, you may wanna run it on continuous. So that is continuous low, continuous high, it comes on high. So that is high speed, 24/7, will not stop no matter what. So we're gonna turn that back off, and I'm just gonna reset it back to intermittent 30. That's what you're gonna wanna use all winter long. Now, on the intermittent button, there's a little dot in the top left corner. That'll come on and it'll glow a solid orange. That is a maintenance reminder. So you see that light on, go downstairs to the unit itself, take the filters out, clean them. We'll go over that in a minute. Put the filters back in, come back upstairs here. You have to push and hold the intermittent button to reset that timer. That's 500 hours of run time, that little light will come on. So to push it, to reset it, you have to push and hold it. And it seems like you have to push it for quite a while. Just stand there, hold it. It's like 4 or 5 seconds. So winter time, again, you're gonna want this set to intermittent 30. Let it do its thing. Springtime comes around when you start opening your windows, ventilating your house that way, just turn this guy totally off. And to do that, we're just gonna click this guy till there's no lights anywhere and just turn him off totally in the spring. The buttons in the bathroom, the override buttons, they still work. Still use those when you're showering, cooking, but just make sure you turn this guy off in the spring. If you're using your air conditioning in the summertime, make sure this is off. You don't want the air conditioning to have to cool and dry the air that this will be bringing in when it's running. So you don't want this guy running. It'll make your air conditioner run a lot longer than it needs to. So springtime, turn him off. Fall time, when you start closing your windows, using your heat from your furnace, that kind of thing, again, you're gonna wanna turn him on to 30 intermittent. On certain thermostats, this one is a Bosch brand. In the bottom left corner, there's a percentage number there. This particular one is telling us it's 25% of humidity inside the house. Currently, right now, this says it's 25% humidity in this area. This 30% cutoff point on the HRV is not going to run. It's only going to be on the intermittent. So we're gonna go down to the kitchen right now and we'll show you the override button in the kitchen and how that operates. So this is your Venmar override buttons. This is a timer. It will run the HRV, again, bringing fresh air in, exhausting stale air. Now this is an override button, so he overrides what the main wall switch upstairs is doing. So no matter what it's doing upstairs, if it's on or off, this will override it. So to turn him on, pretty easy. There's a 20-minute timer, a 40, and a 60. I do recommend just go straight to 60 minutes. Let it do its thing. Let it draw the smoke, the stale air, steam, humid air. Let it draw all that outside and bring in fresh air. Okay, we're gonna go downstairs and we're gonna go over the maintenance and care of the HRV unit in the basement. So this is your HRV. This is a Venmar brand. Do recommend either unplugging the unit from the ceiling. Some of them are hard to get at to unplug. The other option is to go to your electrical panel box and turn the breaker off to it. A couple of reasons for that. One, if you're opening it and it's running, you don't get blasted in the face with air. Two, resetting the computer on the HRV itself is not a bad thing. It helps it to keep contact with the switches on the walls upstairs and the main wall switch. So you go shut the breaker off, you come back here, you're gonna flip the little suitcase style switches on the bottom, tilt it out a little bit and lift it straight up. Should come right off. Now there's 3 little tabs here that it hooks to on the top of here. This is your HRV inside. So this is the one filter on this particular brand. See, this is getting dirty. I would take this upstairs and wash it in the kitchen sink, just with really hot water with the sprayer in the kitchen sink. Get both sides, that'll come really clean. Don't vacuum these. Just brush some of the loose stuff off and then go wash it in the kitchen sink. So for right now, I'm just gonna leave this to the side. That's the top one here. This bottom one never really gets dirty. I'm thinking it's more just to collect the humidity and the moisture off of the center core. So this is your center core. You're gonna wanna take it out once a year, wash it out really good with a garden hose. It should just slide out. Sometimes they're stuck in there. It may take a little bit of wiggling. So you're gonna wanna wash this part out with the garden hose. Drain it really good. You'll have to, again, tip it all kinds of ways to get the water out of it. It doesn't have to be bone dry. You don't have to soak it in the tub or something like that. Just wash it out really good with a garden hose. Don't use a pressure washer, just with a plain old garden hose. When you go to put it back in, there's a sticker here with a top, and this is facing you. So you put them in with the sticker up and towards you. Now this takes a little bit of practice, just like that. The other 2 filters, after you've cleaned them, they go back in, mesh side down, like that. This guy goes in with the bent part at the bottom. They're a bit finicky sometimes, just like that. The drain line on the bottom of the machines, there is supposed to be water sitting in this loop at all times. It acts like a P-trap, so when it's running, it's not sucking air from the floor drain back in and into the house kind of thing. If you notice, there's a bunch of gunk in there right now. You're gonna wanna flush that out once in a while. These ones are pretty easy. You just pull one of the tubes out, or both. They just pressure fit in there. You can put a funnel in there, you can pour a whole bunch of water in there and flush this out. So once you flushed him out, make sure you keep that clean. These pressure fit back in there. Put the door back on. Again, there's these 3 tabs. A little bit of an angle, and it takes a bit of practice. You should be able to just hook it right on top in those little holes. So then you go back to your breaker, turn your breaker back on. It's gonna do some weird things right off the bat. It's doing some self-testing and balancing and stuff. They'll do that for about 1.5 minutes and then should go back into whatever the main wall switch upstairs was originally set at. Other than that, that's pretty well the basics of the Venmar HRV. Again, this is Murray from Northridge Customer Care, and that is how you take care of your Venmar brand HRV. Stay tuned for more new home maintenance videos.